up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel.
They say money can't buy your love. They say money can't buy your love.
Okay, y'all, we are going to unpack a lot of things in this video. I don't know what the title is going to be, but we have to get a couple things out the way before we get into it. So if you are new here, my name is Careya. Welcome to the family. Welcome. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and join. I love y'all so much. Make sure y'all liking, commenting, and subscribing. Also, go follow your girl on the gram at goldencar___ because that is where I am most. What is it called? That's just what I'm mostly on, and I interact on there very well. So go follow your girl on the gram. I love y'all so much. And we're just going to get right into this video, y'all. The truth is, I am like sweating right now. And I'm super nervous to unpack all of this. But I feel like I'm at a place where I'm no longer emotional about anything. To the extent of crying, I would say. I don't think that will be happening today. So I feel like we got some stuff to talk about. Truthfully. And I feel like I want this video to be for my men and women who probably is going through a heartbreak, and I want y'all to see me on that opposite screen happy and telling y'all that it gets better. The pain, the hurt, the betrayal, the trust, all of those things gets better. So that's why we are here today. We're going to talk about heartbreak. A lot of you guys who are subscribed to me now, not my new people, but a lot of people that are subscribed to me joined from me posting a video of my experience of going through my ex-boyfriend phone. Like, that's my most viewed video on my channel. And I feel like since then, it's almost been a year since I posted that video, but I didn't even speak upon that experience until almost a year later. So it's kind of been 2 years of a journey of healing, evolving, growing as a woman, and just trial and error, y'all. I have had trial and error. This has not been an easy transition. Where I am today has not been easy at all. But we're going to talk about it. So, first things first, I want to talk about the steps of just a heartbreak. And when you're healing, I feel like it's just like people skip the healing part of things when they break up with somebody. And I feel like that is the absolute wrong thing to do. When you go through a breakup, I feel like you have to allow your emotions to feel, like you have to feel that thing. Like, allow yourself to feel every emotion, because you're going to feel a plethora of things. It doesn't mean that you're going insane or anything like that, but you're literally going to feel sad. You're going to feel betrayed. You're going to feel pissed. You're going to feel happy. Like, you're going to feel so many things. And I feel like you have to give yourself time, that time to just feel. Most of the time it's going to be sad. Some of the times you're going to be happy. And it's up and down. So I feel like skipping over that, you're cheating yourself out of just getting better as a person and growing. Because truthfully, although like heartbreak is painful, with pain comes strength. And you begin to build up strength by just allowing yourself to deal with your emotions. So when I first went through my breakup, I feel like the one wrong thing that I did was absolutely start talking to someone else. And I didn't do it like in a snap of a finger, but I did it within like, I think I started talking to somebody else within like 4 months. And I feel like that was 110% my downfall. I don't recommend talking to absolutely anybody. Like, if you're going to say that you're on this healing journey and you're trying to become a better person, you're trying to get over your pain, and you're trying to start trusting people again, because that's what you have to do. I don't think involving another human being is the best thing to do in the beginning, because I do feel like healing is something that is going to always happen. You can't say, oh, I'll start dating when I'm done healing. Then you're never going to date. I feel like healing is everlasting. I feel like growing is everlasting. I feel like evolving. You're always going to have to heal and grow from something. But I feel like in the beginning of just hardships, you should absolutely not involve another human. So that was just like my first thing, like understanding that you have to feel things and understanding also that you just cannot involve another person. I think I wrote notes from me being heartbroken, like from the beginning, and I didn't know I was writing it, but I was like, I might as well make a video out of my notes, because truthfully, it's good stuff. So my first thing that I said was, when you experience heartbreaks for the first time, you have to work through the pain that you feel if you want true healing. That involves allowing yourself to feel a plethora of emotions, which is what I just explained. And then also, when I go into speaking upon dealing with another person, I said, begin to focus on yourself truly. No doubling back, no new partner, just you and God. So when it comes to doubling back, I feel like if we're being realistic, it is so easy to fall in the trap of dealing with the same person that broke you. But what I learned is you can't heal in the same places you were broken at. It's impossible. All it does is like apply layers on top of what you have to deal with already. And I feel like if you know that a person no longer serves a purpose in your life, whether you love them, whether you hate them, whatever the case may be, if you know that it's their time to exit, you cannot keep entertaining that person in no way. Not in a friendship way, not in a love way. No way. You have to cut all ties off with that person. And it's not like it has to be hate or anything like that. It's just like, do you really want to heal? You can't say you're healing and you're talking to your ex every day as a friend. It just doesn't work like that. Like, truthfully, does not work like that at all. The next step that I had to really just get accustomed to is just taking accountability of the part that I played in my own suffering. Taking accountability even if you aren't the one that treated the relationship poorly. You have to take accountability for the part you play in your own suffering when you start the process of healing. Because I feel like even if you are not the person who did the cheating or not the person who hurt that person, some people say they grow apart. Whatever the case may be, there is a part of your pain that you play a part in. Because things like red flags, things like you forcing a relationship when you know the relationship is over. For me, my part of accountability was understanding that I wanted love so bad that I was okay with accepting any kind of treatment. And when I say any kind of treatment, there's certain things, of course, that I just absolutely wasn't going for. But there were a lot of things that I just let slide. And I feel like that came with me just wanting to be in a relationship. And you can't do that. If you have boundaries, if you have standards, if there's certain things that are non-negotiables, they have to remain non-negotiables. Even if you love that person, there's certain things that you just can't allow people to do. And I feel like the part that I played was absolutely allowing a lot of things that I just wasn't okay with. Or just not being real with my emotions. I feel like a lot of the times I would just tell myself like, I'm okay, it's okay, I'm okay. And it's just not okay. Like, a lot of the things that I feel like I dealt with in a relationship or my situationship after my relationship, it just wasn't okay at all. And I was literally draining myself trying to force myself to be okay with things that I just wasn't okay with. So I feel like taking accountability is definitely a big step, and giving yourself grace as well too, because I beat myself up about everything after. Like, when you are out of a situation, and y'all know, if you aren't there yet, you'll know. When you get out of a situation, you be like, there's no way I allowed that. Or there's no way I just went through that and just took it. Like, did you forget who you were? That's what I be telling myself. Like, I had to just 110% forget who I was in the moment, because there's no way I allowed that. And I just was beating myself up about it, truthfully. I just feel like there's no way I let a man get me into a position where I no longer stand on my worth, where I no longer feel like I love myself, where I no longer am happy with just myself. Like, to understand that you let somebody do that to you, I think it takes you into a whole nother space. And it's hard to be able to just sit back and be like, yeah, that happened. Like, you definitely were lost. That's the best way to put it. I feel like when you allow certain things like that to happen, you are no longer yourself anymore. And I feel like I was just so lost, and that beat me up the most, to just realize like, dang, you really let somebody take you out of your character, your personality. Like, there was a lot of things that I just felt like I just should have never dealt with. Hold on, y'all, I'm thirsty. Woo! I was super thirsty. But yeah, give yourself grace, y'all. Do not beat yourself up too bad, because the truth is, it truthfully does get better. And then the next thing that I had wrote was, know that every single day looks differently. My bottle was one day at a time. And I always, y'all, repeated this scripture. It's Matthew 6:34, and it says, therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. And I feel like that scripture helped me tremendously. Like, y'all have no idea, because I feel like when you're feeling a lot of pain, you kind of like try to like force yourself to push through things, and you want like to get better immediately, and you want to think about the future, things like that. I just felt like there was no way I was going to be okay in the future. Like, my mind was wrapped around like, what am I about to do with myself? Like, what's next? Like, you just start thinking like way too hard, I feel like, and it just don't be that deep. It don't be that deep. Like, a lot of this stuff, it's like, when you look back on this, like, that was so dramatic. You weren't going to die. You were okay. Like, but in the moment, it feels so painful that you cannot foresee the goodness of it, because it gets so much better. But me just understanding, like, taking it one day at a time was so important, because I was going to lose my mind. So one day at a time means we're not going to worry about tomorrow. We're not going to worry about what happens 10 minutes from now, because you can be happy in your head. You're like, well, I know when I leave tonight, I'm about to be crying in my bed. Or you're outside with somebody, say you go get something to eat, or you go bowling, you go out. Your emotion in the moment is happiness, but your brain will be telling you like, oh my gosh, like, when I get home, I have to deal with all of this stuff. And it's like, why are you worried about that? Worry about it when it comes, or even if it comes. Like, our brain can trick us into having a negative day based upon just us overthinking in the moment. Hopefully that makes sense. But to me, I feel like there was a lot of moments in my life when I was just going through that, where I would just be like, okay, well, I know this is not about to be a good night. Like, you don't know that. But literally, if you are dealing with a heartbreak right now, take it one day at a time. Even if it's not a fresh heartbreak, because I feel like people kind of downplay their emotions. Like, you can still be hurt from something that happened so long ago. But that's when healing comes into play. That's why it's so important to do the work, because I feel like that's what's going to get you through those days. But take it one day at a time. Don't stress yourself out. Don't put too much thought into anything. One day at a time. That scripture for me helped me tremendously. I said it every single day once I realized the importance of it. After that, I put, when the healing comes, it changes and it shifts your entire mindset and your heart posture. But it's a refreshing feeling, almost like you finally reached true happiness. So before I even get to that, when we speak about the things that I'm asked a lot, because from the point of my video that I posted of me going through the phone to now, I've posted a lot of healing videos. I posted a lot of vid sessions. I've posted solo diaries of me taking myself on dates. I posted me reading. I posted me journaling. I posted me just doing a lot of things that involve healing. A lot of y'all be asking me in videos before, like, how do you heal? How do you get to the point where you're happy? Y'all, I feel like healing for everybody is, of course, different, but you have to be intentional. You can't think like you're going to live life however, and one day you're going to wake up and be okay. It just doesn't work like that. That's suppressing your feelings. That's making it harder for yourself to get over. I feel like healing starts when you be intentional. So for me, I can only tell y'all how I healed. I healed by one, allowing myself to feel emotions. Two, journaling. Journaling played an amazing, huge, big role in my healing journey because I feel like it's the only way that I can let everything out. Even if you have conversations with people, I feel like there's certain things that you may leave out because you're having a conversation and they're responding and they're telling you, you know, they want to make you feel better. They're telling you their advice. They're telling you what to do. So there's some things that might slip your mind, but I feel like when you take the time to journal, every emotion comes out. So journaling was absolutely huge for me. And then of course, God, y'all. I don't know if everybody that watched me is spiritual or a Christian or anything like that. But for me, I feel like I had to get in a place where it was just me and God. Like, I cut off a lot of things. I was alone for months strictly because I needed to focus on myself and I needed the time to be able to like get back to me because I was no longer Careya. I was a completely different person. I was going out all the time. I was drinking. And if you knew me before my breakup, I never even like took shots or anything. I was drinking a lot. I was never alcoholic or nothing like that. Don't get beside yourself. But I was just doing things that were out of my norm. And I felt like I needed to take a step back from everything to get back to myself. So I feel like when it came to my realization that, okay, like I am not spiritually where I need to be with God at all. I had totally ignored my relationship with God for a long time. And it wasn't like I was no longer praying or anything like that. It was just very, very, very minimum. I wasn't praying every day. I wasn't going to church. I wasn't locked in. I wasn't having those personal connections. Well, personal conversations with God any longer. Like none of that was taking place anymore. And I feel like that played a huge role once I realized like, okay, girl, you got to get back to the point where you're praying, where you're going to church, when you're involving yourself around God, because I feel like he is the one and true healer. I know that's not the, you know, what everybody believes, but for my life, I just feel like God truthfully is the person that can take me from a dark place to a light place in a blink of a finger. Like for my people that pray and stuff like that, I don't know what it is about praying, but that emotional prayer, like when you're really feeling stuff and you just begging God, like when you cry out to God and you say, God, I need you to remove this feeling up off of me. I feel like those moments, those personal moments that I have for God get me through a week of emotions because I got to have a personal feeling. Hopefully that makes sense. But me just taking the time to be by myself, to pray, to journal, to read. I start reading books that revolve around healing. Those are the things that help my healing journey tremendously. And I feel like it definitely wasn't overnight, but it's kind of like one day you just wake up and you feel better. Like that's the best way to put it. One day you'll wake up and you'll be over the relationship. And it's just like, I don't even think it's really explainable. It's just something that happens. You wake up and you no longer have tears in your eyes. You wake up and you're able to walk outside and breathe. Hold on, because I wrote something like that. I said, understand that it gets so much better. It truly does. You begin to laugh freely again. You walk outside and breathe in air with a smile on your face. You get to look in the mirror and see how amazing you are. And you're able to accept the things that being in love, you're able to accept that being in love with someone is an amazing feeling, but being in love with yourself and your healing is just as amazing. You're not lonely, you're alone. So when it comes to just like feeling like you're healing and feeling like, okay, I'm making progression, it just feels good. Like it's like you wake up and you're like, okay, I'm finally myself again, or okay, like I really don't feel anything for this person anymore. And it's because you took the time to heal properly. And y'all know I always feel like personal experiences are the best type of storytellers, like truthfully. And with this, I feel like I can speak on it because it's my truth and I'm just gonna let it out. But when it comes to being able to see your growth when you're healing, I just recently, like 2 weeks ago, I was around the person that broke my heart, and gave me trust issues and had me feeling like I'm losing my mind. I was literally face to face with this person. With this person speaking to me, with this person trying to be in my space. And I feel like the proof is when you're in front of that same person that broke you and you feel nothing. You feel no sense of like wanting to rekindle anything. You feel no sense of wanting to like be wanted by that person or desired by that person. You really just want to be away from that person because you've already done the things necessary to heal from that person. And it's like when I just experienced being face to face with that person, I feel like I was in a space of annoyance. Okay, I'm gonna be real because I was trying to like sugarcoat, but I'm just gonna tell you the truth. Realistically, I find it insane for a person to break you down mentally, emotionally, destroy your trust and all of those things, and to know the part that they played in that, and then to think that they're going to be able to come back to you. I just find it insane. And I feel like I wasn't looking for an apology. I don't need an apology or anything like that, but I just feel like for somebody to just sit in your face and act as if like we're friends, get out my face. That's where my annoyance came from. But when I take a step back and I look at everything, I was on the phone with my friends and I was just so relieved and happy, like that I know everything that I have been doing is working. Because you know when you're in love with somebody, even if you know that you're not supposed to be, it's very hard to deny them. It's very hard to like really just separate yourself. And there's been multiple moments where me and that person has been face to face even after he hurt me, and I was still okay with being connected to him or kissing him or doing whatever we were doing. I was still okay with it while I was hurt. So I feel like now being able to take a step back and just feel nothing is just refreshing, and it's just a affirmation of like keep doing what you're doing, and that is focusing on yourself. Like if I can get to the good part, I feel like focusing on yourself is probably the best thing you could ever do after a heartbreak, because it puts you in a position where you are your priority. You have no distractions because you are it. You are the person that you are focused on. You're not worried about trying to heal someone else, make somebody else happy, deal with other people. I mean, truthfully, just loving on you. And that's where like my current videos come into play. My current videos come into play because I always make it a point to tell y'all to focus on yourself and to love yourself. And when I say love yourself, I mean the things that you desire from man, give it to yourself. And this is even for a man. The things that you desire out of a woman, give it to yourself. Like there's nothing that another person can give us that we can't. If you want love, give that to yourself. If you want to be spoiled, spoil yourself. If you feel like you want to be, I don't know, anything that you want though, give it to yourself. And watch how your life starts to change and shift. Your taste isn't the same. That's another thing. Like when I was going through my situation, I used to literally, y'all, ask God to take the taste out of my mouth for this person. My prayer was, God, I ask you to take the taste out of my mouth for such and such, because I know that this person is not good for me. I know that I don't need this type of connection in my life, and be intentional about actually healing and moving forward. But when I began to focus on myself, it was truthfully life-changing for me. Hopefully like the transition of these are making sense, but when you're going through a heartbreak, you start off with allowing yourself to feel. You give yourself grace and you take accountability for the part that you played, and you understand that every day it's not going to be the same, but it will be okay. I feel like it has been a crazy 2 years for me. And I feel like I don't want the video to be too long because I know it's already going to be long. But it has truthfully been a crazy 2 years. I have went through depression. I have went through seeking validation from people. I have went through being just completely by myself, alone, and just feeling like terrible, to now whole, happy, loving myself. And that doesn't mean that every day is going to be okay, like the best day, because don't get me wrong, healing is up and down. Healing isn't a straight path. You do have days where you might feel a certain way, but you still be intentional. When you have those days, you journal and you do the things that you need to do, necessary to stay on track. But I have just went through so many emotions, so many experiences to be here today, and I just am so grateful for all of it. And I know it may sound crazy, but I feel like all of the pain that I had to endure, all of the hard aches, all of the tears, all of the pain, all the dramatics, everything that I went through, I feel like it serves a huge purpose in my life. I wouldn't go back and change absolutely anything, because where I am today, I don't think I would have been there without pain and without heartbreak. So I feel like me taking a step back, I thank God for every emotion, every experience, because I know how good it gets. Like, I am a single woman, and this is 110% the happiest I have ever been in my life. This is love. I've given myself true love. I'm open to receiving love now, and I'm not running from it. I'm whole. I feel like I can give a man the love that he needs and the love that he desires. I feel like the love that I have to give, people will know that it's 110% from God. And from me loving myself, you can't give love if you don't have any for yourself. So I feel like I just want y'all to know that it gets better. It gets better. It gets better. It gets better. Be intentional with your pain. Be intentional with how you go about things after you are hurt. And never give nobody the power to shift you as a person. Don't let ugly make you ugly. A lot of the times people get out of relationships and they literally break people's heart. They literally just have sex with a plethora of people. They don't do that. Please don't do that. If you're watching me, I beg you to not do that. Don't do that. I just want y'all to understand that it just gets better. And I know it don't feel like it, but go through the motion, scream, cry, go crazy. Do what you need to do. Heal correctly. So this is a year later, and your girl is happy. Your girl is whole. Everything is not perfect, but we're here and we did it. We got through it. We're just a completely different person. And I feel like I'm going to close the video out, but understand, baby, when you really heal, you are a completely different person. The old people in your life, they won't even be able to wrap their minds around the new you. And that's how you know you have done your part. This is a real nigga party. You could get in. Hopefully this video was informational. Hopefully this video gave y'all some type of insight. If y'all have any more questions, comments, concerns about anything that I have said, just let me know. And hopefully, like, y'all just understood that this was me trying to just be real with y'all and give y'all an update, because y'all still commenting on that video from a year ago, and it's like, babes, I'm not her no more. I'm not. But that's all for today. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. If you have made it this far, put pink hearts in the comments. And I love y'all and I appreciate y'all so much. Go follow your girl on the gram at goldencar___. And we out.
So you think that you know what's important? Steady chasing your